Today we're talking about sharks because in Esperance sharks are a bit of an issue. We've had 3 shark attacks since 2014. One of the local teachers here at the high school has set up an ocean safety and support group, which I'm a part of, and it's just talking about what we're doing in our ocean safety group and the projects we're doing to try and learn a little bit more about sharks around Esperance. Well, I guess with the projects that we've been undertaking with the Ocean Safety Group, to have a science background just gives me a bit of confidence to be able to start and initiate these sort of research projects, and gives me the confidence to approach universities to come and help us out with the project and other organizations and speak with the Department of Fisheries. Well, I think the issue with sharks, is really going to depend a lot on technology, and there's been a lot of different companies that have been set up to try and address shark issues and shark mitigation. So I think it's an area where, we really need to use science and technology to understand more about sharks and their movements and how we can make our beaches safer. I think I would have probably given myself some advice about having a bit more confidence to go and do what I felt I wanted to do, or what kind of career that I wanted to pursue. And I think that's maybe common with young people, is that they don't have quite the confidence in themselves to go and, maybe go and just do what they really want to do. I liked math and science at high school, so I studied engineering at university. Way back when I did engineering, we didn't have environmental engineering, so I did chemical engineering. And when you graduate engineering in Canada, you get this little metal ring. And this metal ring is made from a bridge that fell down that killed lots of people. And it's to remind you as an engineer that you've got a very important job to do, and that you always act with integrity and honesty when you work. And you take an oath as well when you get your engineering ring and your certificate. I then went on to England, and I lived in London, and I did my master's in business and the environment because I was really interested in environmental issues. Back then when I started, environmental issues weren't a big issue, and it was only just starting. Now a lot of people think about the environment all the time, which is really important. I also had a year in Thailand, which was interesting, with a research organization, which was interesting to go out and go somewhere else and live somewhere else in the world for a year. And I came to Esperance in 2001. So when we talk about Esperance, we don't talk about just the town of Esperance. Esperance is actually a huge area, 40,000 kilometers squared. So we've got huge areas of farms, lots of roads to maintain, lots of bushfire risks that we've got to manage. And so it's a really big job being on the council and looking after all that area of land that goes all the way out to Israelite Bay, almost up to Norseman, and past Munglan up in the west. So it's a huge area, the Shire of Esperance. This is my husband. He's an abalone diver, and so this is his shark cage that he uses to get around. It's a little video if you want to click. So this is what he's got to keep himself safe from sharks. So he never used to have this cage, but over the last sort of 20 years, the shark numbers have been coming up. He's had about 12 encounters with sharks. And so he's built this cage where he can drive around the bottom to keep himself safe, particularly when he comes up to the surface to protect himself while he's doing a decompression stop. So this helps him to go and hide out or to protect himself while he's collecting his abalone, and also helps him drive around to different spots where he might want to collect. So he's got a hose where his air supply that's attached to the boat, and also to so there he goes. He can drive off like that and drive around, keeping himself nice and safe underwater. So that's our beautiful kelp that we have down here, not like the coral reefs up north, but very beautiful marine environment that we have down here. So this is a photo of a white shark, and you can see here this white shark has an acoustic tag, what they call an acoustic tag. It's got a little battery in it, and it emits a little radio frequency every 60 seconds. So I brought in one of these today for you guys to see. So these are the receivers. They call it a shark receiver, acoustic receiver that we put in the water. So it's got a battery in there. It can hook up to your computer so you can download the data with Bluetooth. And this on the top is the hydrophone, and this is what picks up the sounds from the tagged sharks. So these will stay in the water. I've put a map here so you can see where we've put the 10 shark receivers around the bay, and they'll stay in till September, and then we'll go and collect them, download the data, and get it analyzed. The other thing that's really important when you do a study like this is information sharing, because we'll be picking up tagged sharks, but who tagged those sharks? Some researcher somewhere, maybe in Sydney, has tagged some sharks, and they want to know that we've detected the shark in Esperance. So there's a group called the Sydney Institute of Marine Science, and their job is to make sure that they collect all the detections from all the shark receivers around Australia and make sure all that information goes back to the researchers so that they can learn as much as they can about where their sharks have been. So that was an important part of making sure that we're part of that big information gathering that happens all across Australia with white sharks. So these, you can see, if you spot these yellow things, there's one off at West Beach, kelp beds, and now you'll see two more out at Twilight, one on each side of the rock. These are the shark receivers that are linked up to satellites. And you'll also see, if you go down to West Beach, you'll see a new alarm that's out there. And there's one also at Twilight, and there'll be one going out at kelp beds. And these are linked so that as soon as a white shark is detected, the alarm will go off. So if there's any surfers in the water, they'll know immediately that there's been a white shark detected. And it also goes, the information also goes to the SharkSmart website, which the state government runs. And there's a SharkSmart app that you can download as well. We're hoping that we're going to be able to get some kind of policy with the state government so that when we have a problem with sharks, when we've got sharks hanging around, that we're going to be able to get some immediate action with that shark maybe being caught and tagged so we know when it comes around, and maybe being taken away and moved on so that, you know, we can remove the threat. So you can go onto the government website as well if you want to get some information about these receivers that have been at West Beach and kelp beds. So the West Beach receiver will tell you we've detected 8 different white sharks 117 times. So our project in putting more receivers out the bay is to get a bit of an idea of more than just that information, but really where are the sharks moving seasonally, and seeing if we can collect a bit more information that's being collected now. I think just go for it. Yeah, it's good. I think there's more women now getting into science and technology degrees, and I just think it's a great thing, and it's can be really interesting and rewarding as well. So yeah, just go for it.